This is Security Watch Africa on the Africa Independent Television. Welcome to this episode of this program. Today we'll be giving you a collection of reports, very informative and educative reports. But I want to say that a lot has been said about incidents that happened in Benue State and the visit of the Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A lot has been said. We hope that action will meet all the statements, all the proposals that has been brought forward. Let us hope that Nigerians will not lose their lives just for the sake of nonchalancy by the political elite. Yes, welcome to the program. Yes, we'll begin today's program with a report by Elizabeth Tanko of the passing out of 6,450 soldiers that were just recruited. The personal parade were conducted during the week. Sit back as we bring you this report.
To improve the manpower of the Nigerian Army, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has passed out 6,450 newly recruited and trained soldiers of the Nigerian Army. Speaking to the newly recruited soldiers, General Olufemi Oluyede charged them to be resilient, disciplined, and adhere to the guiding rules of the Nigerian Army.
To the young soldiers that stand before me, today is not another day of the year, but a day that will just significantly in your memory and that of your families. For you, the journey of sacrifice, patriotism, dedication, and commitment to service of our dear nation has just begun. The Nigerian Army is a professional institution that's the mandate of securing the sovereignty of our great nation, Nigeria. However, our duties are traditionally extended beyond our national borders, and we have played significant roles in ensuring peace, security in the West African sub-region, the African continent, and other parts of the world. Essentially, we have all become stakeholders in this global mandate, and more importantly, we are now part of an age-old tradition in the midst of a long line of brave men and women that are ready to give their last and their best to uphold the mandate.
The Chief of Army Staff gave discharge at the colorful passing out parade of the 88th regular intake at the Nigerian Army Depot, Zaria, Kaduna State.
Commander Recruit Center, hands over the banner to the Guard Commander, Captain H.R. Walker.
The Chief of Army Staff encouraged the newly recruits to stay focused and work on building a career, stressing that they were opportune to be among the few gallant soldiers in the country. He admonished them to be dedicated, patriotic, noting that the life of a soldier is a life of sacrifice.
Indeed, the life of a soldier is that of sacrifice, and victory is fought in the foundry of sacrifice. Hence, during the course of your duties, you will be faced with challenges that may initially seem unsurmountable, but I assure you that you have been prepared adequately for anything that the world may throw at you. However, you will need to remain focused and remember your training, because in your darkest moments, courage, professionalism, and resilience will form the compass that will lead you to your finest hours. In such times, I want you to understand that you're never alone, because you will always stand together with comrades, friends, and brothers in arms in this unique society, that is the Nigerian Army.
He advised that in the face of challenges, they should remain resolute and focused. He appealed to them to accept their posting in good faith and look forward to a fruitful career while pledging his support to ensure their welfare.
On my part as Gloria and Chief of Army Staff, I will ensure that you have all the tools to execute your task and your welfare will at all times be my topmost priority.
Jaolede appreciated the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his support.
Permit me to appreciate the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for his steadfast belief in and support of the Nigerian Army.
At the depot, the Chief of Army Staff commissioned a renovated block for the depot nursery and primary school.
This afternoon, commissioned this remodeled nursery and primary school for the benefit of our children. And I hope, by the grace of God, we'll be successful in life. Honor and privilege to this afternoon commission this remodeled officers' quarters for the benefit of our officers.
Elizabeth Anko, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Here is Security Watch wishing the newly passed out soldiers successful service of their fatherland. Yes, we're going to the Department of Civil Military Affairs Army, where a training program was conducted for the defense correspondent. Lucy Tawo brings us this report.
In today's volatile security environment, where media narratives can influence public sentiment, operational outcome, and national security, the need for accurate, timely, and strategic communication is paramount. Recognizing this, the Army Headquarters Department of Civil Military Affairs organized a 2-day intensive media training for media operatives in Abuja. The training had in attendance media executives, head of security agencies, defense correspondents, and other key stakeholders. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, who was the special guest of honor, stressed the need for collaboration between the military and the media in safeguarding national security. His address was delivered by the Director General of the Nigerian Army Heritage and Future Center, Major General Gbenga Adesina, who also declared the training open.
I can see that in the audience of today's training are individuals ranging from media executives, heads of security agencies, and practicing journalists who have dedicated their time and lives to securing and providing essential information to the people, as well as in advancing the cause of national security. It is my fervent belief that it is necessary and proper for the security agencies to meet in a forum like this with those who have the responsibility to inform the people and shape their perceptions.
The Chief of Army Staff highlighted the essence of the training workshop.
It is therefore apt that at a time when the Nigerian Army is deployed to contend with insecurity in many theaters of operations across this country, it is absolutely appropriate to organize this type of training on military media collaboration.
The host of the training workshop, who is the Chief of Civil Military Affairs, Major General Gold Chibise, described the media as a key driver in shaping public perception, especially on security matters.
In the current dynamics of our modern society, the media has indeed become a key enabler as it continues to shape public perception, including issues of national security. The current security landscape of our country necessitates a multifaceted and whole-of-society approach to tackle the ever-evolving threat therein. As such, it becomes imperative that the military and the media build mutual understanding rooted in trust, accuracy, and balanced reporting.
Goodwill messages were delivered by some media executives present at the opening ceremony of the training.
I want to acknowledge that this is first of its kind, and I must commend those who brought out this initiative to bring this together, because the current Army leadership is poised to ensure that there is seamless communication between the media and, by extension, the general public. So I must thank the Chief of Army Staff on behalf of my colleagues, and also to say that this is quite and welcome. So on behalf of the entire people who believe in having seamless communication of what the Nigerian Army is doing, I would say thank you and well done for what you are doing.
Just a few days ago, Nigeria celebrated 26 unbroken years of democracy in Nigeria. That's no mean feat. To make this happen, our military deserves a round of applause. And to make this happen, the Nigerian media deserves even a bigger round of applause. That means the Nigerian military and the Nigerian media were partners in progress.
The first day of the training commenced with a presentation titled Brief on the Types of Military Operations and Ongoing Nigerian Army Operations by Major General Gold Chibise, delivered by Lieutenant Colonel Nuhu Alkali of the Civil Military Affairs Army.
In the context of this presentation, operation is any organized military activity involving the employment of troops, jointly with other services or singly, to achieve assigned mission. The purpose of this presentation, therefore, is to give highlight on the types of military operations and the ongoing Nigerian Army operations across the country. This brings me to the aim of this presentation, which is to acquaint media operatives in Nigeria with the Nigerian Army operational activities. To achieve this aim, the presentation shall cover overview of current threats facing the Nigerian Army, types of operations conducted by the Nigerian Army, and other interventions by the Nigerian Army.
There were other topics delivered by Major General Olufemi Adeosun, retired, and Komodo Amatare Poor.
You have to collaborate in the sense that you know the people that you are dealing with. You see, if this is the person that's supposed to give you either yes or no, and it's not picking your call, you may know one or two other people in that same office that you can call. Where is so person? I have an urgent information I want to collect from him or something. You just need to do that. Why? The consequences are just too much. Because if you give information that is not right, it is going to affect the morale of people, like he just said, that people have to relocate because of the shame or whatever. So, liaising is very important.
Media plays a critical and multifaceted role in national security. While traditionally seen as informer or watchdog, it now serves as a strategic partner in shaping public perception, enhancing transparency, and even supporting intelligence and early warning systems. In some countries, they even go to the extent of doing extrasensory perception, the perception that you don't see, the one of tomorrow, like CNN. Nobody came, they were saying that they are giving you tomorrow's news today, isn't it? So we can also generate that kind of concept.
The second day was loaded with in-depth and incisive presentations by Air Vice Marshal Abba Zana, retired, and Major General Garba Wahab, retired.
Once these fights joined, from the CDS to the last one, everybody is in that fight. Even though it is papers they are signing in the offices, they are thinking, they are reviewing the operations and adding and subtracting. So if we keep reporting this thing, it may get to a point where it will affect people's morale. That is why, you just not falsify, but if the man requests, okay, we lost some soldiers into, just report that too, because it can cost the man. If they say, but no be 200 die, why you go right to say, I was not there? You're only a reporter. You attended the briefing and you were briefed and you projected.
What we have today is the lack of people being accountable for their offices. People not doing their job. It is not the military who performs or any of the security agents who are out there deployed, who are performing their responsibility. That should respond to, for instance, the last point you made, where are the corpses of those who are killed? Where are the bodies of those who are killed and Lekki? That's not their responsibility. The Minister of Defense is created to handle those things. Minister of Interior is created to answer those things because those guys are working under a ministry, under somebody. But today, all we want is, it is the man who is in front who should defend himself. It's rather absurd. But then training is a continuity, something in the army.
Security Watch Africa's defense correspondent Elizabeth Tanku and Adebowale Adedeji were among the participants. The gesture by the Nigerian Army through the Department of Civil Military Affairs to forge concrete partnership with the media was adjudged as novel and remarkable. Lucy Tawo reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. Yes, we take you again still on the media and the military activities. We take you again to the Defense Headquarters where the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabi Musa, had an interactive session with some media executives. And sit back as, again, Elizabeth Tanko brings us this report.
In a landmark engagement aimed at strengthening military media relations and enhance public trust in Nigeria's defense architecture, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabi Musa, alongside the service chiefs, engaged media executives in a strategic parley focused on reflecting the 2-year journey of people-centric leadership in the armed forces of Nigeria. The parley was attended by prominent dignitaries, including federal ministers, security agency heads, and media executives. Giving account of his 2 years in office, which is part of his policy of transparency and accountability, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, spoke on the essence of the parley and what the leadership of the Armed Forces of Nigeria has done since his assumption of office.
It is worth recalling that exactly 2 years ago today, the current service chiefs and I were entrusted with the leadership of our respective services, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, and the Nigerian Air Force, as well as the Defense Headquarters. On that day, we were charged by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, to steer the Armed Forces of Nigeria through one of the most challenging periods in our national history. Since then, we have been working as a unified team to respond to ever-evolving security threats facing our country. A seamless transition has been vital in maintaining the momentum and cohesion we have built over the past 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the security landscape of our dear country remains dynamic and complex. We are contending with an array of adaptive and unconventional threats from non-state actors, including terrorism, insurgency, banditry, secessionist violence, and other forms of organized crime. These multifaceted threats underscore the urgent need for a comprehensive, multidimensional, and multidisciplinary approach. In response, the Armed Forces have fully embraced the whole of society approach, a framework that emphasizes synergy among the military, government institutions, and the people as a unified trinity in the fight against insecurity. The primary objective of today's engagement is to foster direct interaction with media executives from across the country. This platform allows us to present a clear and factual scorecard of our operations and activities over the past 2 years.
Paying tribute to victims of violence in some regions, particularly in the recent attack in Benue State, General Musa expressed deep condolences and reaffirmed the Armed Forces' commitment to peace restoration and national healing.
At this juncture, permit me to express the heartfelt condolences of the Armed Forces of Nigeria to the families and communities affected by recent violent spate of attacks. We especially grieve with the nation over the tragic losses in Yelwata, Benue States, and other affected areas in both the southern and northern regions of our country. These senseless acts of violence against fellow citizens weigh heavily on our hearts. As always, we remain fully committed to ensuring that justice is served and that peace and stability are restored to all corners of Nigeria.
The chairman of the event, the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, also addressed the gathering, appealing to the media to align with national priorities.
Under the strategic leadership of the Chief of Defense Staff and the service chiefs, we have witnessed not just a containment of these threats, but a visible reclaiming of our national space physically, psychologically, and operationally. The media, as the fourth estate of the ring, must be a strategic partner in nation building. You are not just chroniclers of events, you are co-creators of national consciousness. When you report on security issues, you are not only informing the public, you are boosting the morale of our citizens and the Nigerian armed forces on the front lines.
The special guest of honor, who was ably represented by his special advisor technical, Major General Ahmed Tijani Jibril retired, commended the role of the media in shaping public perception and maintaining morale between the military and citizens.
The role of the media in this partnership cannot be overemphasized. As the fourth estate of the realm, the media is a veritable megaphone of the nation and a vital bridge between the government and the public. Your responsibility in ensuring accurate, timely, and constructive reportage is crucial in shaping public perception and maintaining morale between the military and among the citizenry. However, with the responsibility comes the need for balanced reportage and professionalism, as well as commitment to the national interest above all.
The representatives of the service chiefs took turns to address the media on their various operations in the last 2 years.
In the last 2 years, the Nigerian Air Force has reached new heights in operational capabilities. 15 brand new aircraft were received by the Nigerian Air Force, including 6 T-129 attack helicopters from Turkey, 2 Agusta Westland 109 Tracker helicopters from Italy, 3 Beechcraft King Air aircrafts, and 4 Diamond aircrafts. An additional 49 platforms are expected before the end of 2026. Our air operations have neutralized several high-value targets, dismantled logistics networks, and restored hope to communities plagued by insurgency. From June 2023 to date, over 3,496 terrorists were neutralized, while 775 structures, logistics, and 218 combat vehicles were destroyed by the air component of Operation Adenkai in the northeast.
The Nigerian Navy's operational responses in the last 2 years have been in the form of anti-piracy and sea robbery operations, anti-oil theft operations, anti-smuggling operations, and joint operations. Others include asset recapitalization, establishment of new bases, hydrographic operations, regional and international cooperation, as well as regional and international collaboration.
The Nigerian Army, as a land force, operating under the leadership and guidance of the Chief of Army Staff, has, in the last 2 years, carried out much operational activities in fulfillment of its constitutional responsibilities. And during this period, many quantities of battle enablers like mine-resistant, ambush-protected vehicles, gun trucks, AK series, artillery pieces have been acquired. Many special intervention battalions have been created, trained, equipped, and introduced in the various trouble spots to make the difference we have today.
The engagement ended with group photographs. Elizabeth Anko, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Yeah, welcome back. Yes, we're here to announce that the Lagos State Police Command, under the command of CP Moshood Jimoh, has successfully arrested the most wanted criminal in Lagos State in recent times, talking about Wasiu Akinwande. You know, he's popularly known as Olore Esho in the Mushi area. He was arrested with so many ammunitions and guns and international passports and so many things. The guy is one that has been a hired killer and has carried a lot of kidnapping and so many crimes created to his name. Kudos to the Lagos State Police Command for this yeoman's job. Yes, with this, we'll come to the end of today's program. Follow us on all our social media platforms and send us your views so that we can respond to it. Until next week, we'll come your way again. I said thanks for staying tuned and bye for now.